The PlayStation Portal launched 2 years ago as a remote player for the PS5. It was more of an accessory if you own a PS5 and a paperweight if you didn't, but thanks to some software updates like cloud streaming, it turned the Portal into a great streaming handheld. Today, I'll talk about what it's been like using it, the new software features, and whether it's worth getting one in 2025. So let's jump right in. Okay, if you haven't seen a Portal, it's essentially a DualSense controller cut in half with an 8-inch LCD screen in the middle, and you get the same features you know and love. Haptic feedback is here, and the adaptive triggers work perfectly. But you might be thinking, Kevin, where's the touchpad and light bar? Well, the whole display is a touchscreen, and the light bar was moved to both sides. When you're using Remote Play and tap the screen, you'll see two virtual touchpads. You can stream games in 1080p at up to 60 FPS. On the top, you have your volume buttons, mic, PlayStation Link, and power. You also have two upward firing speakers, which sound okay. They lack any lows or highs, but they get the job done. Here's a sound test. On the bottom, you have another mic, USB-C port, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. There's no Bluetooth, so you need a PS Link compatible device like the Pulse Explorer earbuds or the Pulse Elite headset. The Portal comes in white or midnight black, and there was a 30th anniversary limited edition. Alright, the latest update brought a redesigned UI for select countries. You now have 3 tabs in the top left corner: Remote Play, Cloud Streaming, and Search. You can tap on one to switch, or use L1 and R1. Remote Play hasn't changed at all. This is where you wake up the PS5 from rest mode and stream your digital games you have installed. Both PS5 and PS4 games will work. You can also play physical games, but you'll need to put the disc in. If you have multiple PS5s, you can open the quick menu and pair a different one. Cloud streaming shows your most recently played games at the top. It's only your top 6, and you can't pin your favorites. Along the bottom, you'll find streaming games in your library and on PS Plus. I'll talk more about this in a minute. Search is really useful. Before, you had to manually scroll through hundreds of games. Now, I can type in Final, and it'll show me all the games that are available to stream on the PS Store or PS Plus. If you see a game you want to purchase, the Portal will give you a QR code, and scanning it will take you to the PS app. I wish there was a built-in store and some in-game screenshots that you can cycle through. So the biggest new feature is cloud streaming. This was in beta last year, but for select games only. I don't know how many PS5 games are out there, but I'm guessing about 25%, maybe 50% are available to stream. There is one catch though: you need a PS Plus Premium membership. So if you have Extra or Essential, you're out of luck. Also, cloud streaming only works in these countries. Now, here's where it gets interesting. All of your streaming games in your digital library will appear in this section, and you can play any one of them without needing a PS5. That's a big jump from the Portal being just an accessory to a standalone device for some users. If you have a disc version, you can't play them via cloud streaming. When you want to try a new game, you can hop over to the PS Plus section, which has 297 games at the time of this recording. It's basically the catalog games including classics from PS1, PS2, and PS3. Most of the games I purchased can be streamed, so games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Stellar Blade, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 all support cloud streaming. The only game right now is Wuchang Fallen Feathers. When you start playing a game, you can continue where you left off since your game save is in the cloud. If you want to check what games support cloud streaming, Sony has a complete list available online, which I'll leave in the description box below. You can also log on the PS5 and look for this stream icon. PS4 games aren't supported, and you won't find Call of Duty Black Ops 7 or Battlefield 6 on there. But honestly, you don't want to play FPS games due to input lag and latency. I found cloud streaming to be smoother than remote play. Both of my PS5s are hardwired, and I have a gigabit internet, so I'm not sure why it's not as good. Sony recommends around 15 megabits per second for a good streaming experience, but it really depends on your Wi-Fi. Remote play is a lot better than before, and I rarely get any drops or connection issues. In case you're wondering, it takes about 25 seconds to connect via remote play, and that's right when I press X, and after that, portal animation ends. For cloud streaming, it takes anywhere from 15 to 40 seconds. I guess it's a server thing as well as how many people are using it at that time. Also, I didn't get it on camera, but there was one time where I couldn't stream any game. One of my favorite features is a network status screen. To enable it, just open the quick menu, scroll down until you see troubleshoot, and toggle on show network status. It will show you things like signal strength, resolution, speed, and latency. Latency varies if I'm using remote play or cloud streaming, but I normally get around 5 to 20 milliseconds. And if I switch to my phone's hotspot, the latency will jump to about 30 to 55 milliseconds. I do notice a slight delay, but it's playable if you're doing a story-based game or trophy hunting, which is what I use the portal for. I'll play a game so you can see the network status in real time. It's cool that you can monitor your network status, but you can't move this window around. It stays in the top left corner. It'd be nice if you can reposition it or make it smaller, and maybe add an FPS counter. Over the past 2 years, we've had several software updates including performance and stability fixes. Version 3.0 brought public Wi-Fi support. I tried it once, and the portal shows a QR code, and you log in from your phone. I think Sony can add a web browser because one of the cloud streaming settings shows the website. There was also a show battery percentage, so you know exactly how much is left. And the touchpad shows some visual feedback. Version 4.0 added some speaker volume adjustments and allowing you to change the settings on a PS Link device. This was also when cloud streaming was in beta. Version 5.0 brought some more cloud streaming features like sorting, gameplay captures, feedback, and inactivity notifications. The latest 6.0 update brought some more features like game invitations, accessibility features for text size and screen reader, viewing profiles, and 3D audio. You can even set a passcode to lock the portal. There's no built-in PS Store, which is weird because you can make in-game purchases during a stream. Maybe we'll see it in a future update. There's also an update for the quick menu that's worth mentioning. When you press the PS button, the quick menu will open, and you can still use the swipe gesture from the top right corner of the screen. When you're using remote play, you can disconnect from the PS5, open Control Center, or go to the PS5 home screen. And when you're cloud streaming, you can close the game, see game invitations, and set the max resolution. I'm not a fan of the new PS button update, and Sony should go back to the old way for remote play. Make it behave just like a PS5. The portal itself costs $200. If you already own a PS5, that's all you need for remote play. If you want cloud streaming, it will be another $160 per year for PS Plus Premium. A lot of people don't find it worth it since you're paying to stream games you already purchased. The game catalog list isn't that long, but even if you play just 3 games, it would basically cover the cost. And again, if you're on the extra or essential plan, you can't use cloud streaming. You'd either need to upgrade or stick with remote play. There should be a cheaper plan called PS Plus Portal Plan for PlayStation players. As much as I enjoy using the portal, there are some things I'd like to see for Sony's next handheld, PSP 2, Vita 2, whatever they call it. It should have an OLED screen. I like those vibrant colors and deep blacks. An anti-reflective coating would be nice too since you can take this everywhere. The portal needs an internet connection, and I know some people will like internal storage to play offline. You can't watch videos on here, which could make this a great streaming device. Also, Wi-Fi 7 would be a nice touch. I'm very happy with the portal now. I actually put it back in the box after I built my gaming desk setup. But now, if I want to game in bed or on the go, I'll just grab the portal. With this latest update, I think the portal is worth it. As long as you have a good internet connection and a decent digital library or PS Plus Premium, it's a great device to have. Let me know in the comments if you already own a portal or if you plan on getting one. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll be notified when I post new videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!